If you're in the market for a three-row SUV that gets phenomenal fuel economy and great performance, plus a lot of style and modern technology, you definitely want to take a look at the 2026 Lexus TX. This is the 550 Plus Luxury, which is a plug-in hybrid. So you're going to get the best of all worlds. You're going to get the electric motors when you're cruising around town, great fuel efficiency when you're up on the highway, and the combination of the two will make you a very happy person. Now let's start with the vehicle itself. Starting with the design. Now there aren't a lot of changes for 2026, but it's important to note that this spindle design front grille actually helps airflow around the vehicle so it keeps it running cool, because that is going to be a critical factor when you're using two different propulsions. And they've done a nice job redesigning all of this. You've got the beautiful LED headlights, there's LED taillights as well, and this Lexus logo is not too big like many of the competitors, which I really do appreciate. Now you'll also note that there is airflow here, and this is actually functional airflow, so when you're up on the highway, you're going to get better cooling, but also better stability on the highway, because all of the weight is underneath the vehicle, because you have the engine in the front and the batteries underneath, and the combination of the two will make this a really nice handling vehicle up on the highway, and you won't feel like you're driving a gigantic SUV. There are three different powertrains available on the TX lineup, and that includes this PHEV, which means plug-in hybrid, which is a combination of the powerful V6 engine as well as the plug-in. So here are your three engine choices. The 2.4-liter turbocharged inline four-cylinder engine in the TX 350 that comes front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive with 275 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. The next engine choice is a 2.4-liter turbocharged hybrid on the TX 500H, which includes direct 4 all-wheel drive. That's the only way it comes, with 366 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque, backed by a 6-speed automatic transmission. It does have a power control unit and a 64 kilowatt-hour battery. Then you step into the vehicle, which is our test vehicle, the 3.5-liter V6 plug-in hybrid. That's on the TX 550H Plus. That's direct 4 all-wheel drive only. There's no other options. Powerful engine that has 404 total horsepower and an EV driving range of 33 miles. The Lexus TX 550 Plus has variable suspension, dynamic rear steering, and drive modes of normal, eco, sport, and custom. That direct 4 also adds a trail mode with a towing capacity of 5,000 pounds. The lower trim levels of the TX have 20-inch alloy wheels. In this case, we have 22s, and if you decide to upgrade to the F Sport, you're also going to have 22-inch alloy wheels. Of course, they're different designs. These run on all-season tires, and they've really done a nice job filling up the wheelhouse, and that may be something that you don't usually hear, but there are some brands where there is such a gap between the wheel arch and the tire, and they've done a really nice job making this very connected all the way through. The Lexus TX has a gigantic panoramic glass roof that goes all the way back. There are chrome roof rails and chrome trim around the windows. If you go with the F Sport, it'll all be black. So if you like that all blacked out look, that's something you want to consider. Also, privacy glass on the second and the third row. And instead of regular door handles where you feel the door handle pull out or the door handles retract, this is something simple. You just push the lever, and inside there's a button. And if the electrics don't work, there's also a lever. So they've made it modern as well as functional. The warranty is 4 years, 50,000 miles, and with this powertrain, you're going to get 6 years, 70,000 miles, and there is a 1 year of scheduled maintenance that is included. Inside the Lexus TX, there are a few options. The front seats, of course, are really nice, supportive seats that come standard with Nulux, which is not leather, but there is an aniline leather option available on the top trim levels. You'll also note this very modern interior that has a combination of suede materials as well as soft leather materials on our high trim level. I really like the fact that there are adjustments for both the driver and passenger side. They are equal, so you are getting lumbar. That's really important, as well as heated and vented seats, and of course, a heated steering wheel. One of the things I really like about this vehicle is the gigantic 14-inch multi-information display that's standard on all TX models. There's an optional head-up display. The 12.3-inch gauge package in front of you is also very nice, as well as the 21-speaker Mark Levinson audio system. Really fantastic, tons of charging, and that's really important, and wireless charging and additional storage underneath this cover. Cup holders can come out if you need the space, or they can go in one or the other. Short shifter. Your EV modes are here, your hold modes, and if you want to get into your different drive modes, it's right here in the picture of the car. It's normal, sport, eco, and custom, like I was saying. All your seat controls, driver assist, everything is here. We're going to cover that in just a second when we go out on the road. Vented 3-stage, heated 3-stage, and 2-stage heated steering wheel, all very nice features to have. And that's really important when you're owning a vehicle at this price point. The controls are very intuitive, and if you've owned a Lexus or a Toyota before, you'll be able to figure it out quickly. If you've worked on a tablet before, just something that's real easy to use and all the information is in front of you. Heading into the second row, you can get it optioned a few different ways. Captain's chairs, which is what I prefer, or you can go with the bench seat. Armrests can go up if you want them up. The seats, of course, fold flat, and there are child latch systems on both outboard seats. The center console is really nice because you can take these cup holders out if you want, use it for putting whatever the kids want, or if you want them in, not a problem, super easy. If your children want to crawl to the back and they don't want to move this second row, maybe because you have a child safety seat here, not a problem. You can take it out and they can just crawl to the back. That's a personal choice. There are pockets here behind each of the seats, as well as three-stage heated, three-stage vented, climate control, and more USB-C charge ports. There is more storage, as well as a 120-volt wall outlet here. All really nice. And that Mark Levinson audio comes back to the second row, and manual sunscreens, which is really nice. There's also venting in the second row, as well as a light and a pull handle. And this glass roof goes all the way back to just past the second row. Accessing the third row, just press this button, and the seat will go forward to get into the third row. Getting into the third row, there is a pull handle that is located on the outside just below the seat belts. There's also the ability to tilt the seats both forward and back. That is right here. I can see children playing with that. I'd want to figure out how to deactivate that personally. More cup holders, more removable cup holders, and of course, USB-C charge ports. Now I am 5'8", and this seat is set normally the way it would be. And there is plenty of room. There is also child latch systems in the third row, so you can gain 2 more child safety seats if you need them. There is no glass roof back here, but there is venting and there is a light. This is not the penalty box being in the third row, and I know that children love it back here because it's their own little area. Coming around to the back of the vehicle, I kind of wish this wiper blade was tucked up underneath this upper wing, which has an integrated third brake light. Maybe they'll do that on the next generation. Lexus is located here. LED taillights all the way across the back, nice and clean. And your hitch for your towing is located behind this cover. One of the things that's really nice is that it does have proximity key, so it will open up if you come close to the vehicle. Cargo space with the third row up is 20.2 cubic feet of storage. There's also a first aid kit, which is nice, and it does stick nicely there. And your charging cable, it comes in its own bag. It's also located in the back. Fold down the second row and you're at 57.5 cubic feet of storage, which is enough to bring home any large television or whatever you need to transport, including taking your kids to college. Now that we've seen the inside of the vehicle, let's take it for a test drive. All right, we're inside the Lexus TX 550h Plus Luxury. It is a plug-in hybrid, so you're going to see a lot of different things than you would in the non-performance versions or the entry-level versions, but it's important that you take them all for a test drive and figure out which one meets your needs. If you want the luxury, you want that plug-in hybrid, this is the way to go. When it comes to Lexus, one thing you will get is Safety Sense 3.0, which is their top-of-the-line safety, which is a 5-star National Highway Traffic Safety Administration safety rating. It is the top rating you can get. And the reason they have that is they have forward collision warning, rear collision warning, a round view camera, which is fantastic. And you can access it from the button. And what it tells you is you've got traffic coming. And it tells you there's traffic coming from the left, what's going on behind you, what's going on in front of you. All of that is really important because when you're sitting at a traffic light, people can be in accidents. See, there's someone coming from the right. It's telling me, be aware, be aware. Again, you don't have to use all of these systems, but they're there, which is why you're getting the top safety rating, and everything is standard when it comes to the Lexus lineup. And that's really important. Some of the competitors do charge more when you go to the higher safety features that you want, and it does make the car even more expensive. Okay, so we are in normal mode. You can do an eco mode, you can do a sport mode, which gives it a lot of performance, because remember, this is a hybrid, so you're gonna get that instant reaction. Pretty impressive, huh? And that's just a little bit of like foot to the throttle. If you said, no, I'm not gonna drive that way, just wanna like get great fuel economy, well, that's great. Go to the eco mode, you're still gonna have that good pickup. Not as aggressive, of course, as a sport, but what you're gonna get is the pickup you need so you don't feel like you're being limited. And I think that's really important. Lexus has done a really nice job balancing a lot of these different settings, and this includes the custom. Now, in the sport mode, of course, as in all the modes, you're going to get that rear steer, which is going to allow it to get into those tight parking spaces. And there's nothing worse than having a vehicle this size and not being able to get into the parking spaces. So rear steer, it's a very slight amount, but it's enough to make the vehicle feel smaller, which means you can drive it easier, not just on the street, but also on the highway and in parking lots and into your garage. You don't have to do a 20-point turn to rearrange it. So they've really thought about all the different features that would make this vehicle even better. Now you have a driver assist mode. These can be turned on and off, and there's a lot of them. And it's important that you customize it. Once you've set it, you don't have to worry about it. So lane alert system, I'm shutting that off. It drives me crazy, but I do like the intuitive parking assist. That's something I think is really great. The brake support, you don't ever back over anything or anyone. So features like that, like blind spot monitoring, I think are excellent. Safe exit assist is really great when you've got kids that are gonna jump out of the car, at an event, or an adult even not paying attention, and there's traffic coming that could be very dangerous. Rear cross traffic alert, I actually like. Fantastic for parking spaces, especially when you're going to the grocery store or the mall and you start to back up and somebody's not paying attention, which just seems to be the thing these days. And then you can intervene and it'll actually stop the vehicle. That includes that rear camera alert. Proactive drive assist, that is something you can turn on and off. Road sign assist, I actually like to have the road sign information, then you have your pre-collision warning. These are just some of the features. There's a lot of passive and active safety features. Now, passive means like seat belts, they work when you need them, and active are things you can shut off that you would use every single day. Now, going back to the different settings, you've got tons of information, including that energy flow, which I think is one of my favorites. When you're plugging in, it's showing we have a full charge here, and if you plug in, it'll show you the charge, and you've also got the gas portion. So you've got the best of all worlds. You're getting literally what everybody wants. Great fuel economy, good performance, long distances between fill-ups, and I think that's what makes this vehicle a big success for the Lexus lineup. Now, some people just want the hybrid. They don't want the plug-in. Again, it's important that you go and test drive different vehicles and find out which one works best for you. So that's one of my favorite buttons. It just shows you what's going on. Charging schedule, your all-wheel drive, your tire pressure, all of that information. So you're including your seat controls, and that's great for all the different rows. They've really thought about everything. You've got your navigation, your audio system, which is Mark Levinson premium audio system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Everything you need is right here. Now we're going to go into the corners and show you this vehicle handles really nice and flat. There's a lot of weight on the lower end of the vehicle, which gives it a better center of gravity, gives it better handling also. Because when you lower the weight of the vehicle rather than just being a high, large vehicle, which would make it maybe feel sloppy in the corners, this vehicle doesn't. And the reason it doesn't is because it has a lot of weight at the bottom. So the center of gravity and all this weight is underneath the vehicle, which is really good for making it handle well. You've got your connection for your Bluetooth and of course all your different settings you can customize however you wish. That's that forward collision warning. See, it's saying caution, cross traffic alert detected. So now it's off. It also shows me, oh, there's someone else coming. See, I may have not seen that. Really nice performance, good pickup. We are currently in the normal mode. Brakes are well balanced and visibility is excellent. And I think that's really important when you're driving a vehicle of this size. It's not just the camera, it also is just a regular mirror if you wish to have it that way. But in this case, I like the camera. I've gotten used to it. Initially, I didn't like it. It's something you get used to because if you have someone in the second and the third row, this allows you to see around them rather than trying to look around their heads and see what's going on behind you. So I think this is a fantastic safety feature for a large SUV. Considering this is 3-row, it's a major bonus because you have kids and car seats and everything in back or stuff because you're hauling things. It's a great plus to have. Everything in this vehicle is really easy to use, really easy to access. The large screen, like I said, is really wonderful. They've just improved every single aspect of the Lexus. The Lexus TX has been out for a few years. It came out at the same time as the Lexus GX. They've changed all of their interactive intuitiveness for the multimedia screen, for the gauges in front of you. You can put your hand over the steering wheel here and it'll show you what those different settings are. And this is for audio on this side, on the left side, and on the right side, it shows you some of the settings you might need, including the cruise control, the driver assist modes, all of that is here. Now, you may be asking, what is this hump here that's on top of the steering column? It is tracking your eyes. It's pretty much collecting a ton of data as well as this rear view mirror, and that is all part of the safety features. And I've covered this on my Car Coach Reports channel. I'm not a fan of being tracked. I'm not a fan of having my eyes scanned, but every single brand is doing this. This is part of a law that was put in place back in 2021. They're trying to change those rules, but right now you cannot opt out from them on any vehicle from any brand. They all have to follow the laws. Where that information goes depends on the brand. Most brands keep it secure, it's yours. Some brands don't. And the question is which ones, because no one seems to know. But again, we'll be digging into that deeper, and that'll be on the Car Coach Reports channel. All the car reviews are here on Car Smart, so make sure to subscribe to both. As far as seating position, the seats are very comfortable. You can set them up high, especially if you're shorter. It gives you the ability to adjust the seats how you like. It does not have a flat bottom steering wheel, although I wish it did. But what it does allow you is to adjust the seats, and if you're one of those people, I don't particularly care for this, but a lot of people do, is when you get out of the vehicle, it'll pull the seat back so that you have room to get out of the vehicle, which I think is a really nice little feature if that's something that you'd like. But that is a premium luxury feature. Speaking of luxury, the interior of this car is absolutely beautiful. I love the different materials between the suede materials and the softer materials. I think they did a really nice job making it just comfortable, making it more modern. Lexus has always been that way anyhow, but this is just a continuation of the styling that they've upgraded to, and I really like it. I think they did a nice job with the matte silver and the glossy black, which I'm not a fan of glossy black because it leaves fingerprints and brushed materials that make this vehicle really nice. I like the color combinations, extremely modern. There's other colors besides this, obviously, so make sure to go to the Lexus website and check that out. The only thing I think is kind of amusing, but I don't think you need it, is the paddle shifters, I guess. I mean, if you're doing something where you need them, but for the most part, you're never going to use those. And that's fine. I mean, they're there because when you're talking performance, that is something that they feel is a must-have. There's also a head-up display that is available as well. There's a lot of features on this car. Take the time, if you purchase one, to spend the time with the salesperson to learn how everything works. You can always go back, but it's nice to get in the vehicle and go, I get it, I understand it. I mean, there's so many different things from not just the first row, but the second row, even the third row has a lot of features. Take the time if you purchase one to learn the vehicle, because there's a lot to offer. Okay, let's talk about my pros and cons and the price and the long list of competitors. The 2026 Lexus TX has a broad range of pricing, with the base coming in at $56,490. Go to the premium trim level, you're at $59,290, and our test vehicle is the luxury, which starts at $61,640. You can go to the F Sport, which is the premium luxury plus performance, and you're at $65,760. A wide range for a three-row SUV that allows you to choose what works best for your lifestyle. Now, there are some pros and cons when it comes to this vehicle. On the plus side, class-leading room and cargo space, excellent technology, easy to use, and good performance, as well as excellent fuel economy, and I do like the modern interior and comfortable seating. On the negative side, it does take time to get used to some of these controls and to know where things are and the steering wheel controls and all of that. And it can be frustrating when the safety features apply themselves and you don't want them. Again, that's something that takes time. You will figure that out very quickly. The competitor list for the 2026 Lexus TX 550 Plus Luxury is quite long. You've got the Acura MDX Type S on the performance side, the Volvo XC90, Lexus GX, which is its sister car, the Audi Q7, BMW X5, Genesis GV80, Mercedes-Benz GLE 450, Lincoln Aviator, and the Land Rover Defender 130. Now, I know Cadillac has a competitor and a lot of other brands do, so it's really important that you test drive all the vehicles. We've reviewed them here on our Car Coach Reports channel. Of course, make sure to check with your insurance agent before you make a final decision, because it's very easy to buy based on just the price of the vehicle and then find out the cost of maintenance, the cost of all those upgrades, which can make some of these brands very expensive, and of course, the insurance costs. So it's important that you do your homework before you make your decisions. Remember that all the news is on Car Coach Reports, and all the car reviews are here on Car Smarts. If you got value from this video, please like and subscribe if you'd like to support our channel. The link is down below, as well as the social media. You can buy me a cup of coffee down there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm LaurenFix.